Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today we are going to be making a video on the recent news with mainly version 4.0. We'll talk a little bit about 3.8, but this mainly pertains to version 4.0, the version that leads into the next planet. So, here is, right now what you're seeing is just a tweet for just the next special program, which is version 3.8, Memories of the Prelude to Dreams. So this is going to be the finality chapter. That's literally what they labeled it as. It's going to be about Firefly and the Dahlia, so there's that. That's why you see them. Dahlia is going to be the only new limited 5-star in that entire patch. So, and she is break-based, so if you play Firefly, you must pick up a character. It's not really a matter of if, it's a matter of you have to. It's like, oh, but like, you know, if I have like E6 from nah, Dahlia's just better. But yeah, apologies, I'm a little sick. I just came out of the cold. I just walked home from college, and it's I get like a mild sick cold like pretty easily. Anyway, yeah, so 3.8, this doesn't really matter on like, this doesn't matter. What matters is the special note right here. It says, quote, the character preview segments are originally scheduled for tomorrow and after. What they mean by this is the drip marketing that they're talking about. You know, like the drip marketing that they show off for the patch afterwards, that like show you like the characters coming out in that patch. Yeah. Those previews have had their times adjusted. We thank you for your continued support. This is a very official and nice way of saying we are delaying the drip marketing. So initially what was supposed to happen is on it's 12 p.m. right now, so in 12 hours at midnight they were to drop the Yao Guang drip marketing, and then then tomorrow at midnight they would have to drop the sparkle drip marketing, the new one. That's not happening anymore. They're not at least they're not dropping at this point. I don't know what this means. I don't know exactly what this means for 4.0, at least like officially, because they haven't said anything on that. So let's talk about this. So if you don't know the reasoning for this, I'll be very quick about this. This is, I don't want to get too much into this, but this is the main reasoning why. China and Japan are having a crisis over diplomatic relationships. The Prime Minister of Japan said some not some great stuff. Basically, it's saying that they will take defensive actions if China attacks Taiwan. That's what they're saying. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that. You can make your own opinions from there. You can read it yourself. I implore you to, if you want to learn more, just read it yourself. No sponsor, by the way. But yeah. Damn, that sunlight is crazy. Anyway. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. And because Edo Star, aka Benzai Tengoku, which I'm gonna call it, because it's a Japanese themed planet, there's a lot of tension between the two. And Hoyoverse is a China-based country, so they have to conform to, you know, China's rules and what the popular opinion is. And also like their China-based audience is what they pertain to first. They are the most important for them, and then everyone else matters, right? This is clear back when like we had that whole voice actor strike thing that a couple years ago. Like that's in the past now. Like we pushed it away, but that was a clear indication that Hoyoverse is doing what they want, and it's not their problem, unless it affects their home their main audience, which is China. So yeah, it's really hard to drop both Edo Star and this Sparkle when they're from Japanese themed places, so they can't drop it. And because this can't drop, Yao Guang can't drop because well, if they show Yao Guang, there's gonna be a lot of people rooting for this character, love this character because she's from a China themed area, the Shenzhou. So yeah, I don't know what they'll do with all this, but it's delayed. So let's talk about what this means for the live stream. So in the version 2.7 live stream, where after they talked about both Sunday and Fugue, they went into Amphorius, like the next region of the planet, and they talked about like a little bit like what you like who you could expect to see from there, like how the place kind of looks, and they talked about Remembrance Path afterwards. I presume all that's getting cut. They're definitely not going to be able to show off Edo Star anymore. They're just not going to be able to, because how do you, like, it's going to show Japanese themed places, and that's just not going. Or at the very least, they're not going to show it to on the China on Bilibili. They will not show it there, because if they do, oh god, they're so screwed. Simple as that. Yeah. Here's the YouTube live now. We can pull up here. We won't be able to see anything, obviously, but here it is. Goes live in 3 days on the 10th at 6:30 a.m. I will be live watching it. But yeah, I presume this won't just cut off all of Edo Star. I'd be very shocked. I'm very shocked to see Edo Star shown, because technically speaking, if they do that, that'll be quote unquote false marketing. I don't think they're gonna later on down the line be like, hey, by the way, this is not final product, and it definitely will not be final product because of what's happening. Let's see. So what's gonna happen? So there are reasonably I think there are two options as what's going to happen leading up to 4.0. They're going to either delay 3.8 indefinitely until they like get all the Edo Star stuff worked out, right? And then get rid of all the Japanese things. Like, I assume it won't even be called Edo Star anymore, I presume. Because, or at least it won't be called Bensai Tengoku. Simple as that. It will not be called that anymore. Unless the dispute the crisis becomes averted like really early. That camera, like, there we go, a little better. We'll have to see what they do. The second one, they rush. Now, like, they rush to get like all the stuff out of the way, like all the themes out of the way, at least for 4.0, so they can focus on the other regions and like the other parts of the planet and get those out the way. So, there's problems with this, as always. If they do the first one, that would mean 3.8 is what you're going to be sitting on the longest. And 3.8 is not introduced anything like like absolutely revolutionary, right? It's not like they're like dropping like, oh, like a whole new game mode, right? Or like, oh, hey, we're making an update to like the fucking the new game of Currency Wars, right? They're not doing anything like that. It's a new like form of chapter. It's like the finality chapter, which is pretty interesting. But that holds people's attentions for like what, a week at best? That's not enough to like warrant a whole delay. At least not keep yourself entertained. Like this, like 3.7. I won't lie to you. 3.7 was boring. Like after you did the story, like 3.7 story was. That's a whole discussion for another day. But it was fine. It was fine. Like I enjoyed sitting through it. Right. I did that, and then I did Currency Wars for about, I would say, 5 or so days. That was pretty fun for the first couple of days, and then afterwards you just did the same strat over and over again until you got to the final Wealth Created 20. So, and then after that, nothing. There was just nothing to do, because Currency Wars took up all of the game modes, or they took all the things. So there are a total of, and I keep on saying this, one other event. That event is the cat cake cat, I don't know, cat cake event, the racing or cheering event or whatever. That's what it is. Yeah, there was nothing to do. There was just nothing to do. So what has happened here? I'm not certain if Divergent Universe is resetting this patch. I would have to actually, you know what? Let me quickly go check that real quick to get that information. I'm also going to take this chance to remind you guys that today is daily reset, not daily, monthly reset. So get your 5 free pulls from both standard and limited. Okay, now let me quickly pull up the, we can quickly pull up the, we're actually next. What am I doing? So if we go here, I actually don't know if it resets here. If it doesn't, then there should be a couple events. But if it does reset here, let me see. No, okay, yeah, it does expand. Yeah, they're expanding it on in 3.8. Okay, so Well, that kind of sucks. The reason this is bad is because whenever these big expansion, like when these expansions happen, that's their excuse for saying, "Oh, we don't need that many events." First off, no, it's not an excuse. Second off, that's gonna be really bad for 3.8 if they do delay 4.0. I'm hoping they do delay 4.0. I think the delay is necessary because if they rush it, while their schedule will stay intact, your story gets hit, and people are like very iffy on because we just had Amphorius, and people were like kind of not. We're in like the middle with Amphorius. I'm in the person who's like, I think the first half was just awful. I think the first half was story, like everything before Final was like the Final patch 3.4 was abysmal. I think 3.0 was too much exposition. 3.1, 3.2 were just way too slow, and 3.3 just felt not unnecessary, but like not good enough. I think they're just not good enough. From 3.4 on, like the Final story, best story. I think Final had the best the best patch line. I think his story was great. It felt exciting to watch. Like it was good. 3.5. What was 3.5? That was the Hislin's patch? No, that sounds wrong. No, that sounds very wrong. What was 3.5? I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Final was 3.4. 3.6 was. No, yeah, that is right. Yeah, Hislin's and Serja was 3.5. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think Final released by himself 3.4. I think. I could be wrong on that. 3.5 was Hislin Serja. 3.6 was March Donghung. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember if Final released by himself. I think he did. So. But yeah, like the story, like Amphorius. The long story short is, Amphorius' story was like very iffy for people. Like there are a lot of people who did not like the story. I for one did not like the ending of it. I was not the greatest with it. I think the middle was good, but the end off was just like, okay, sure. Like it tried its best to keep the characters with us. Spoilers 3.7 story, I guess, but like, come on now. It's been 4 weeks. I feel like people have done it by now. Like they did their best to try to save everyone except for Cyrene, quote unquote, but like at the same time she is also going to exist, quote unquote. I don't really get it. Also, like what happens to Evernight and the Donghung Terravox? I don't know. I guess they just have the powers now? I'm not too certain. It's really annoyingly complicated. I don't like it. I really don't. But I will say that Amphorius was not great. We've only had 2. I think there's been one really good story with Pinakani and one solid story with Shinjo, the gorilla. Shinjo is still thankfully the worst story. I think Amphorius was at least better than Shinjo because I can at least tell you what happened in Amphorius. I can still tell you. If they rush Edo Star, the story is going to be just as bad, and I don't think they want that many bad stories. So, what to do from here? So, most likely, since we're getting an update to the Divergent Universe in 3.8, we're going to see less events. We're going to see maybe like, I think 2 at maybe 3, excluding things like, like the double rate ups, like the limited time like double drops for like the Calyxes and whatnot, right? It should be Calyxes next week. Wait, I actually don't know. It depends on what comes out. I have to check again. Because we just have planar ornaments, so I think next is gonna be the Realm of the Strange. I have to check, but then we're not counting those. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do from here. I really don't. We actually don't even know if Dahlia is the entire patch. I actually have no idea. I don't think people figured it out. If I can quickly look. I believe we don't know that information. If we check the gotcha banners, yeah, we don't know. We know nothing on 3.8. Straight nothing on it on banner wise. My guess is, I think they're gonna change it now. I think Dahlia has to be the entire patch. I think she has to be the entire patch. We'll have to see how long it lasts too. I don't know if they consider that, but we'll see what happens, right? Because look, yeah, we don't know when version 1 of 4.0 comes out. We don't know. Also, just in case you care, quickly, Dahlia got no changes, so good. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. I think the best option is to delay so they don't ruin the story of MSR. But then again, knowing them, they don't want that. We'll have to see what happens. What is concrete though is the drip marketing is delayed, and we don't know when they come out. There's no beta for 4.0 yet because they haven't been sent out, and we won't see that for who knows how long. Yeah, I don't know. And whenever that beta does get dropped, there's gonna be very few balance changes, if any, because they have to bring out 4.0 as soon as possible. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. That's just an update on what's going on, the situation going on with Yao Guang, Sparkle, and then just 3.8 and 4.0 in general. This is it's like a really bad time too, because like this is right before it all dropped. Now it could have been worse. This could have been like 3.8 and going into 4.0, and this could have ruined everything. But so we have like a little bit of leeway time, but like, oh man, there's a lot of recovery they need to do. That'll be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.